In today's question, see only one keyword is there, that is a directive word, that is comment. In the second question, whenever the question is on comment, suppose although the revolt did not achieve its military objective, it played a crucial role in laying the ideological groundwork for Indian nationalism. Now, when it's saying the comment on it, so it has given one fact. Can you observe it? It's a fact. It's saying that although the revolt of 1857 did not achieve its military objective. Yes, we know that it could not achieve. It has some goal, but it could not achieve. That's a fact, right? But it's saying that it played a crucial role in laying an ideological groundwork for Indian nationalism. The second one is a opinion. The second line is opinion, isn't it? That it's saying that it played a crucial role. Someone is saying it has not done, it has not achieved it. That's a fact, it's not achieved. But it played a crucial role or not, it's opinion. It cannot be justified with the data and those things is not there, whether it played a crucial role or not. Because some have said that the 1857 revolt was the first war of independence, V.D. Savarkar. But some have said that it was neither the first nor the national nor the freedom movement. That means there are difference of opinion. It is saying it has played the crucial role. That means it is a one type of opinion. Now this statement has been framed. Now what the question is asking, comment on it. Then what do you think? Forget about the keyword, forget about what can be the thing. Now when you understood the question, what do you think, how you will comment on it? Suppose in an interview panel it is being asked. Think about it. And they're asking you, what do you think about it? Basically, comment means they're asking you, what do you think about this statement? Isn't it? Comment means what? That. What do you think? Comment on it. Okay. So how you are going to write in such questions like the comment means, understand this. The first thing is that it has said not achieve the military objective. Justify it. You say because it's a fact. Yes, it has certain goal to eliminate the Britishers from India, but it could not achieve. That shows that yes, it is true. The second part, it played a crucial role in. Here the opinion is there. Now here you have to give both sides. What you will comment on it? You will comment that yes, it has played the crucial role, but it was having the limitations. So whenever the comment word is there, it cannot be created like a theme, like the critical examine. Compulsorily you have to give the second side. But the comment requires little analysis in the what type of the question is. But keep it in mind, whether it is, keep it in mind, it's always safe to give the both side. For example, the most common keyword is keywords or the directive words is discuss, examine, critically examine, evaluate, elaborate, elucidate, comment. Do you think investigate, explain, these are the most common keywords observed in the UPSC questions, right? Note it down, these all keywords. And if I'll explain each keyword right now also, it would be difficult. Why? Because until unless you won't see the question before it becomes difficult to understand it. Okay, so what we will do is that now onwards, when we will discuss right now, how we are discussing how to write intro, body, dimension generation, conclusion, as well as the value addition. Along with that, from now onwards, we'll keep mind about these keywords and try to understand that when these keywords are there, how things are being written instead of explaining it. Because if I'll explain also, first of all, I could show you the questions, but again that will take a lot of time because each question has to be understood. For example, now unless you won't understand the second question, that is about revolt, understanding the comment keyword will be difficult, isn't it? Like you had to read it twice also sometime, right? So if we do that, it will take time. So better approach to understand this and implement in our question answers will be if we go question wise. So from next time when I will choose the question, I will try to put these keywords, try to bring the questions having these different keywords so that with each keyword we will get that clarity. But before that, one thing I'm telling you, which you have to try, you need to try implement, is that whenever the question is on examine, critically examine, evaluate, and investigate, these four keywords, compulsory to give both side. It's asking compulsorily to give the both side of it, that is in favor or against, or what you can say, the positive or negatives, significance, limitations, benefits, drawbacks, merits, demerits. Importance, constraints. Okay, whenever there is these four words, compulsory, this is compulsory, we have to give the other side. Along with that, we need to give here the balance in conclusion. Every time balance may not be required. Sometime, I mean, that depends on the question. We cannot frame it. That understanding we have to build where the balance is required. But most of the cases, I'm telling, balancing will be required. Or recognizing, like despite the constraints, the given theme has high importance, hence requires greater policy intervention from the government. Getting? That means recognizing the limitations, still we need to focus on importance by focusing on the different policies or certain recommendation of any committee like that. You getting? Or balancing. So depends on the merits, demerits are there, then you have to balance the thing like the, okay, this approach can be followed in order to balance the thing. You're getting this? This is the most crucial part, or most important. Right? Critically examine, because examination means what? I am examining one person. Why I am examining if I know everything is good? For what thing I am examining? I am examining in order to understand what is positive as what is the limitation. Why you investigate? You investigate to identify what is the issue. Why you critically examine means nothing. You don't have to go too much thinking like critical means what, examine means what. Same only. It's in actual paper you cannot differentiate. It's not an academic exam. No? Remember, UPSC is not an academic, pure academic. This is more application oriented questions. So here, whether it is critically examine, evaluate, examine, investigate, you need to compulsorily give the, compulsory means if you will miss the other side, your marks will be deducted. That means inherently, because of this keyword, the question is having two sides, two parts. Some question may say, what are the question will say that what were the significant role of tribal revolts in 19th century? What were its limitations? Explain. Here they have given two parts within the questions. Significant, drawbacks. But it says that examine the role of tribal revolts in 19th century India. Now here they have not divided like the what is the significant role and what is the drawback. But they used the directive examine. That means they are asking you to take the facts of the tribal revolts which took place in 19th century and see that its role. When you will see that its role, examining, that means you can't see just the positive. You will identify some drawbacks, like they were having very old tools, the equipments, funding issue was there, lack of integration, ideological support were lacking. Some issues you will identify. So you will be an independent observer of all the tribal revolts of 19th century and present the facts. Think like a civil servant who is seeing the both side and presenting the facts. Getting? So that way, whenever these keywords are there, inherently there is two parts. And second thing is that inherently the UPSC asking you to give your judgment at the end. Because if you are a part of committee, they asked you to examine the impact of Delhi pollution due to the parali burning or that stubble burning. Let's say the committee, you are at the head. So you will see that how it is impacting. But can you ignore the compulsion of the farmers as an examining officer? No, right? You will bring that point also, like the farmers are not willing to burn, but they have to burn because of lack of alternatives. That part you will bring or not? Right? So that is the examination, right? So at the end, the committee also expects that you give the balance. Now what to do? Okay, you recognize that yes, because of the parali burning, pollution is happening, but you are also saying that the farmers are having the compulsion. So what to do? Is it expected or not? Forget about the question. Think about a civil servant, whether it is expected or not. It is expected that you give one line, at least what you want. So you will say that let's give the farmers alternative by giving them financial support, technological support, along with that curbing this parali burning. So basically you are recognizing their issues, trying to address that. Along with that, you are not deviating from the fact that it is causing the pollution. Balancing, right? You are not biased to no, all farmers are bad, they are put them into jail, whoever is burning the parali. Is it expected from civil servant? Are they terrorists? No, right? They are farmers. So we need to bring the balance, right? But the questions like, let's say the Naxalism is going on. It says that if the violence, whether violence is justified or not, can you balance here? Okay, little violence is okay, but let them do the other part. You can't, no? If national security issue is there you can't balance things. There is one side only. Remember, corruption, national security, women sexual harassment issues, child abuse issues. These are, I'm saying these are 4 most important aspects where you can't balance things. There is only one side. Can you justify sexual harassment against women? Can you say that the women was wearing the short dresses, that's why she became the victim of that sexual harassment? Can you justify? No, right? So there is one side. It is heinous. It is against the the law, as well as it is against the humanity. It should be punished. You can't say the other side, right? That is not possible. National security issue. Can you say that okay, we shared some of the confidential data because there was some some requirement was there. No, you can't compromise your national security. Third, can you say that okay, my family was struggling, that's why I took 1 crore bribe? No, there is no non-negotiable. The government salary was very less, so that's why I adopted. No, there is no balance. There is no zero tolerance policy towards these things. So these four you can note down also. Mostly in the ethics, these things comes. We can't be the both side here. We have to stand at one place. Whenever there is national security or the national interest is coming, we have to prioritize, whether it is foreign policy, whether it is national security. Whenever there is women issue, we have to stand with them, no matter what it is. Third, corruption, zero tolerance. Fourth, child abuse. Okay, because children cannot you justify like the children did the mistake. It is inherently understood that children mind have not developed or they have not well aware about the law and what is right and wrong. So that way you can't exploit them because of thinking about that thing. So there also justifications not there, except these are common. You have to balance. But remember those four issues. Okay, and rest of the things like they discuss, elaborate here in two aspects. I'm giving the broad, we'll understand with the question. Elaborate, elucidate. Okay, these two means the question has given one fact, you just have to justify it. You don't need to give the other aspect. Okay. Okay, so elaborate and elucidate. These two keywords, you have to give the whatever fact they have given. Suppose they gave this, although revolt of 1857 did not achieve its military objectives. Elaborate. So what you will do? Basically, you will justify it. Yes, it did not achieve the military objective. Okay, so no need to give the half space to know it's not achieved and it's achieved. That's not required. You have to elaborate it. Okay, and one thumb rule, remember, in every question, whenever you see that there is the possibility of second angle, try to give it. Try to give it at least 1 or 2 points. In other cases, discuss, explain, comment. You have to give the other side, but not as priority as here. Here it's complete 2 parts. That's the only difference. Otherwise, in all question we write the second part, but where we prioritize here in these 4 cases, we prioritize in the top level that we have to write the both side. But in other cases, you can mention based on the what type of question. Here UPSC will particularly give a controversial or a type of topic which will be having the both side. Particularly they will give these keywords. But in here, it depends on the nature of the question, what type of statement they have formed. And that's why here only mostly you will get the confusion, and that confusion we will clear when we will discuss the questions. You will get this organic idea like which type of question sir is asking, or we can think about the second side, which type of question it's not possible. Okay, but thumb rule, remember that here you have to compulsorily give the balance. Other you can give, but that much priority or the space you should not give. And in these two, you just have to elaborate. 3 things you have to remember. Clear? 3 things. First, this both side compulsory. Other these two, one side, whatever it has given, and other give the other side but less importance. Clear? To make things clear for now, when you will solve so many questions, write so many, organically you don't even have to think. It comes very naturally. Don't worry about it. For now, just remember these 3 aspects. Clear? See, this part we have already covered, and we have understood the syllabus very nicely. Right? We have the clarity about the art and culture, how UPSC is asking question. See the second, modern India. Modern Indian history from about the middle of 18th century. Middle of 18th century means which year? 1750. Until the present. That means it's a kind of when it's saying the present, it's difficult to understand whether it is saying that the 1947 or it's saying the 2025. If it is 2025, that means it includes the post-independence also. Okay, so that clarity is difficult to understand, and we don't need to know that much also. We need to tackle the questions. Significant events, personalities, and issues. 3 words are there. Significant events means this 1857 revolt was an event. It was an event. Formation of INC was an event, right? Social religious reform movements where the different events took place. So what UPSC you can expect from the UPSC is that they can ask certain events which happened, significant events like 1857 revolt, some tribal revolts. So they are trying to ask us about the events which happened significantly. Second thing is saying that personalities. Sometimes they ask the questions on the personalities. For example, Birsa Munda is highly in the news. Maybe the question you can expect from on the Birsa Munda, his role in the tribal upliftment and the national movement. Similarly, they have asked question on the Ambedkar, Gandhi. Okay, so they can ask on the important personality. Maulana Azad also questions is already there. So they mostly ask on personalities 2 way. One, contribution of the personalities. Second, compare the contributions, ideologies of 2 personalities. For example, they can ask Mahatma Gandhi versus Ambedkar, Mahatma Gandhi versus Bose. Like that, they can ask us to compare their ideologies, not persons, ideologies there. Okay, and their approaches. So that is the question you can expect from personalities. Issues means there were political issues. 1750, our polity of India was fragmenting, and then the reconsolidating by the Britishers. First, this Mughal Empire was there, na? Aurangzeb. Then after Aurangzeb, they start disintegrating. Right? Mughal got disintegrated. The Bengal, Hyderabad, and then the Punjab. Many kingdoms started coming. So that was the fragmentation of the polity. Was an issue or not? Then there were social issues also. Economic issues started coming, like the famines and other things. UPSC have already asked question on the famines. So you're getting, so what were the issues during that particular time period? So those kind of questions you can expect from the first part. The next thing is the freedom struggle. This is more on the freedom struggle which started around 1885, that the formally with the formation of INC till 1947, different events happened. Swadeshi movement, non-cooperation movement, home rule movement, this Delhi Pact, Lucknow Pact, Quit India movement. Many movements happened. Okay, so that were the various stages. Then important contributions from the different parts of the country. Contributors means major personalities. They can ask the contribution of women. They can ask about the tribal contribution. They can ask the contributors of foreigners. They have already asked. INC contribution. So like the contributors, who were the contributors? Understand, I'm not going deep, but understand the syllabus, what they're trying to ask. Then the contributions from different parts of the country. Northeast, Southern, Central India, Eastern India, Western India, like that they can segregate parts of the country. Right? So the contribution from the different parts of the country, like they can specifically ask, like analyze the contribution of the Northeast India in the freedom struggle. Right? So that is the objective. Then the next is the post-independence reorganization. So these 2 parts is there. Now how I have divided the syllabus into 3 segments. One is that about this mid-18th century present important events and the issues, personality I have left. Because personality is here and the contributors may be similar also. In the second segment, next day, what we will cover is the freedom struggle, important contributors, and the different parts of the country. Mostly we'll cover under the freedom struggle different movements. That's the most important type of question. Non-cooperation movement. What type of question can be asked from non-cooperation movement, freedom, Quit India movement, that part. Third day, we will focus on the contributors, like the women contribution, foreign contribution, and those things. Along with that, we'll cover the policies of the British. That's a important segments which is not there in the syllabus, directly not mentioned. But the questions you can see, like they have asked the question on Dalhousie policy. They can ask question on the Curzon policy, or they can ask like the economic policy of British, how it impacted. Right. So in the third day, we will cover that segment, like the policies, contributors, contributions. This part we'll cover in the third day. So this way, in these 3 days, we'll cover the modern history major areas from where the UPSC is asking the question. So it's helping us in a 2 way. One is that the important segments are getting prepared, well prepared. I'm not saying that other than that the questions won't come, but mostly those questions will come. We will be well consolidated our answers, well strong answers we can write. Second thing is that what we can learn from here is that the presentation and those other things. So 2 way it is happening. We are learning answer writing, along with we are covering the important parts of the syllabus. So 2 things we are trying to do here. Understood the syllabus, what it is? Now let's, based on my analysis of the PYQ, let me present you certain areas where UPSC is pattern, what I have identified. First thing, let me write as the modern history. See, the first thing they are asking is that any event, this word is mentioned, or any issue which is happening, any event happened, any issue happened. What they are asking here, most commonly they are asking about the causes of these events. What were the causes of, for example, let me give the example here. Event, suppose they ask the INC formation. They will ask what were the factors responsible for the formation of Indian National Congress in 1885. Right, first type. So here you can also write as the factors which led to such event or such issue. If the famines were coming so many times, what were the causes of regular famines? You getting? If 1857 revolt happened, what were the causes of that revolt? Okay, so like that, those questions are there. Decline of Mughal happened in 1750s. What were the causes and factors which led to the decline of Mughals? What were the factors and causes which led to the rise of Britishers? Why? What were the causes which led to the Britishers dominated while other Europeans could not? Causes. Getting? The first thing. Within the event, if the causes is given, then second type what they are asking is, okay, this event happened. What were the implications in such event and the issue? Okay, event happened. What was the implication of it? Okay, that's the second type of questions we can impact, basically. Implications, or you can say the impact. Now let's try to frame the template for this part. Then we'll go to the second type of questions also. Whenever the question is on causes, remember the most of the causes or the factors were like those pestle. But in 1857, some causes were, definitely there were some political causes. Mughal why Mughal decline? Political reasons were there, right? Political causes. Then you need to bring one aspect here is the military causes. Military causes. This will be little different, the military part. But most of the events happen in those times. Now you see the role of military. Why Britishers consolidated? Because the military role. Why Britishers succeeded over European? Military role. Why Britishers could curb the revolts which were happening in India? Military role is there. Right? So the military role we have to bring in the causes if the important events, especially in the 17 to 1900 time. This cause. The third cause is social aspect. social. Here one word you have to bring is that Renaissance. That is the cultural awareness, social awareness started coming. So that led to the many events started happening. INC, role of education was there, right? The fourth factor is the cultural factor. Cultural means like any event, if you see, there will be the role of the culture. Why tribals started revolting? Because the British's policy were intervening their culture, right? You bring another, like the INC also, there was one cultural element that India is having its own culture. Others are coming and they are intruding in our culture. 1857 revolt, what was the cultural reason? Cause of 1857 revolt, cultural dimension, what was it? Yes, that they use in the rifle. That's the one fact. Along with that, they were intervening in the cultural domain, banning sati, right? They were considering at that point of time like they are intervening in our cultural domain, right? So that was having the cultural reason. So the point is, we have to think in that aspect. Okay, what was the political setup that point of time? Even if it is INC, even if it is 1857 revolt, there are political reasons, then there are military factors, there are social factor like education, there are cultural factor that the whatever was the cultural, right? Then the fifth is geographical factor also we have to bring wherever possible, because whenever these wars are happening, like you saw in the Panipat case, that question was particularly on the geographical factor. Location they're asking, location means it is having the geographical reasons, right? So geographical factor we need to bring, and sixth we need to bring is the economic factor, poverty, famine, peace and poverty. These all aspects will come, which led to the such kind of factor. The seventh thing, which will be the unique one, is that influence of outside events. India was not running in isolation at that point of time. There were the events happening outside India also, like what was happening in the Europe, that nations were breaking, then unifying. Along with that, the Russian Revolution, many Boer wars, many things were happening, and our people were getting aware about those things gradually. That also influenced the many issues, revolts, movements, right? So the external factors. External events, external factors also we need to bring in such questions. Okay, so these are the broad thing here, mostly similar, but we need to remember these two. These are not common. These two, try to bring in your answer. These two aspects. Okay, we might not study sometime also. I mean, particularly when we do the answer writing. But in order to write a broad answer, if we are able to bring the outside influence also, right? If we are able to bring the this military reasons also, our answer will be unique. You see the question type also. That the first question of 1857, it's particularly saying the military word, right? Military objective. And you see the military role overall in the answers are there. Okay, so these are the causes. Mostly we need to use the dimensions based on the type of question. The second thing is, what is the second? Implications. Always remember, you need to bring the implications into two dimensions. One is short term implication. Every event had the immediate effect, then it has the long term effects. Generally what happens, if we ask the questions on the, let's say, the non-cooperation movement, they'll ask that what were its implications. What we say that due to the or the civil disobedience movement, after this Gandhi-Irwin Pact signed, or the INC adopted some resolution. But such movement, always have the long-term implication till 1947 and beyond today also having the implication. Many of the movements now what's happening have the inspiration from the civil disobedience movements, non-cooperation movement. They take it, inspiration from Anna Hazare movement or other movements, right? So always remember, broad your answer by bringing the two aspects. Categorize the implication in two parts: short-term implication and long-term implications. That will broaden your answer, perspective about the implications. Whether, for example, 1857 revolt, the question was on that. Today's question, what is this? It's asking about the implication only, but they use the word what it is, political and ideological groundwork. Basically, it's saying that the played a crucial role. It has, if I change this language, 1857 revolt led to ideological groundwork for Indian nationalism. Basically, it's asking us how it is impacted, how it impacted the ideology or how it impacted the nationalism. Understanding the question. So, see, every time they may not ask you directly write the implication. It's the understanding we have to build, like what exactly the question is asking. Second question is on the implication. So, if we are able to divide our answer short-term implication, the short-term implication was there. That change in the Britishers' approach. You have written those points, right? Like the Britishers, they reformed Good Governance Act, something they reformed it. But the long term had the impact till V.D. Savarkar also got influence. Later, revolutionaries also got inspiration from 1857. Till 1947, even today have its implication. So, if we are able to bring those perspective in our answer, now imagine your answer. It will be different than others, right? You're not only thinking about the immediate implications of those which happened at that point of time, but you are talking about the long-term implication 1857, which had held in Indian nationalism. And when you think Indian nationalism, does it form only political, or it has the other dimensions also? Other dimensions also. Short-term, remember, within this, the short-term implications will be limited. Immediately what happened? Civil disobedience movement, immediately what happened? Implication was that Gandhi-Irvin Pact. Non-cooperation movement, immediately Chora-Chori incident, and then happened the arrest and those, there were the conflict between the no changes and the no changes and pro changes, right? No changes and the pro changes. So there were, that was the immediate implication. Divide under in INC. What was the implication of Swadeshi? Immediate implication was there. There was negative implication was that split in the INC. Suppression was the implication. But the long-term implication were the huge one. So the long-term, short-term, what you will give is that immediately what happened, that you have to remember. But the short-term, long-term will be the political implications, economic implications, social implications. These aspects we need to bring. And here, some key word you have to use is that how it strengthens the nationalism. Nationalism. This word is important, nationalism word. Like there we have written a Renaissance. Whenever you are writing the cultural aspect, write about the Renaissance. This is we brought from the world history. We read about the cultural Renaissance, ideological fermentation. These are the keywords. And this keyword also you can bring, ideological fermentation. Ideological fermentation means? Fermentation means like the idli. That's fermentation. No? Basically, something is getting cooked, getting fermented, getting more mature on it. So when the many thoughts comes and they sink in one place and they evolve a new ideology. Evolution from new ideology from the old one. So that's ideological fermentation, and that happened during those time. These are the keywords, not dimensions. So you can use within that. Just
Related to the second question, how can we frame regarding ideological fragmentation in this context?
Okay, it played the crucial role in see. After this, what happened is that many thoughts started coming. So how you can write? Let me explain the point first, and how we can write that. See, after 1857 revolt, there were different schools of thought started coming up. One was the militant school. Some people started thinking like the yes, revolt is important. That's why you saw the Indigo revolt later, as well as then the Deccan revolt in 1875. Those also have taken inspiration from 1857. How can not? If it was so vast, when Deccan famine revolt happened 1875, they also taken some inspiration from it. So that was one school of thought which influenced the revolts in the tribals, peasant, as well as the civil revolts. Right. Later on, that Tilak's some activity, V.D. Savarkar activity, that was the one ideology started developing. The second was the political moderates one. Isn't it? Moderates started mobilizing political. They understood from the same event that, okay, through revolts or through violence, we can't beat these military superpowers, Britishers. It's not possible. So they thought that let's adopt the legal and the more constructive measures. Let's adopt the political aspect. Right? So the point is, here you see the different school of ideologies. One ideology is believing on the revolt. One ideology is believing on the peaceful, that legal measures. Right? So that is the ideological fermentation which is happening in after this event. So what you can how you can show here is that ideological groundwork where two schools of thought started evolving, one believing in the revolt, another on the political mobilization. Like that point can be written here. Okay. So the point is, then when you go to the later point, 1920s, there more political ideologies started coming. Communism also started coming, right? Because of that Russian Revolution. Then there will unionism, like the labor movements, peasant, then the caste ideology, which was not prominent in 1857. But in 1920s, because of Ambedkar movement, then Harijan movement by Gandhi, it started coming into the one aspect of ideology. So that became the more evolution of the more ideologies, right? So that way, it's about like the how you are thinking about that particular aspect and linking it, right? So 1857, that point can be written here. Okay. Now see, let's see, you understood, we'll cover this aspect today. In the next class, we'll go to the other aspect is there. Contributions, how they are asking questions on contributions, how they are asking about the different, like the women contribution, foreigners contribution, and different parts. We have to see that contributions from the sectoral contribution, sectional contribution, and then the regional contributions. Two aspects we have to see. Sectional contribution means different sections: women, tribals, scheduled caste, peasant, foreigners, their contribution, that dimensions. And then the different region means north, south, east, west, like that, regional contribution. So that way also we have to classify that. And whenever you are writing about movement, limitations are try to write. Like this, you have written, most of you have written 1857. Similarly, even the non-cooperation movement had certain limitations. We need to highlight that. Similarly, civil disobedience movement had. So the limitation we bring, like what were the major limitations in those revolts and movements. Those things we'll discuss in tomorrow's class.